Welcome to Mr. Biz Radio, biz talk for biz owners. If you're ready to stop faking the funk and take your business onward and upward, this show is for you. And now, here's Mr. Biz, Ken Wentworth.
Welcome to another episode of Mr. Biz Radio with me, Mr. Biz, Ken Wentworth, and this week we're taking a little bit of a turn on some of the topics we usually cover. And again, it's been difficult because we've been doing the show for so long now, which is I'm very grateful for. But we're looking for different types of topics and things that impact business owners, entrepreneurs, etc. And this is one that definitely impacts them. It impacts me. Literally just had a conversation with Mrs. Biz about this over the weekend, and I'll touch on that later. It's a funny thing. And any of the wives, girlfriends, significant others that are females out there will appreciate what happened and will probably relate to it as well. At least I hope so. But this week, we're going to talk to today's guest is what happens when resilience meets reinvention with a splash of style and a whole lot of grit. She's been bitch slapped at Saks, catfished in Paris, and stood face to face with the brutal bias of the fashion world. But instead of backing down, she built a movement. Gayla Bentley is a former Fifth Avenue stylist turned plus size fashion pioneer. She's a Shark Tank alum. She's a speaker and author of the powerful memoir Fashion's Stepsister, A Journey to Style. Through personal transformation and professional reinvention, she's helped thousands reclaim their confidence, not just by changing their clothes, but by changing their stories. You're about to hear a conversation that's as real as it is stylish. Let's dive in with the one and only Gayla Bentley. Welcome to the show, Gayla.
Thank you, Ken. Looking forward to our conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. So many things to cover. But before we dive into that, kind of alluded to some of it in the intro, but tell us about your journey. You've had an amazing journey. Give us sort of the background on that.
No, I've always, my family's very entrepreneurial, so they instilled that in us. And I started working when I was 12 because I wanted to buy some beautiful things and I needed more money. And that just so you make your own money, you can buy whatever you want with it. And I went to Catholic school and always wore a uniform. And then once Catholic school was finished, I had to put on real clothes. Well, I was a chubby tomboy teenager, and my mother didn't have a clue of how to teach me what to wear or where to find these things. So I had to go up on my own and research and figure that out. And I couldn't find anything. And when I went to a store, women would try to dress me like my grandmother. And I was in the dressing room one day and I literally heard from God, and he said to me, "Don't worry, I'm going to teach you how to dress, and then you're going to teach women for the rest of your life how to dress." And so that started me off, went off to college, still in my jeans, polo shirt, and an afro. And I met a very fashionista woman named Nina, and she was a fashionista, and all her sisters and her mother were. And they took me under their wing and educated me. And that's what my book is all about as well, Fashion Stepsister. I want to be able to educate and entertain people on how to look the best they can to their fullest potential for whatever they look like, regardless of size, regardless of money. It's all about style. So I went to the University of Rhode Island. After college, I moved to Houston, Texas, with the hopes it was a tropical paradise, which my friends were telling me. And from then on, I went to Europe for 3 months to dress one of my clients. I had my own business in college called Gayla Affairs. And one of my clients from that business said, "I just inherited a lot of money. Would you like to take me shopping in Europe?" And I'm like, "Of course." I was only 20 years old. And so that worked out perfectly. And while I was in Europe, I sent postcards to the store I wanted to work for in Houston. The number one store was Sakowitz. So I connected with the HR director the day before I left. And from next 3 months, every major city we went to in Europe, I sent her a postcard telling her the furs are fabulous here, the pearls are fabulous there, whatever I found great. And as soon as I got back to Houston, she hired me that day. My very first client was the Queen of Jordan. And that's a whole story in itself that you can read in the book. And my very first sale was $36,000 in 1981. Geez. I got promoted right away to the manager of that department. No one liked me because I was the youngest person in the store, and I got this big job. And anyway, so then Saks Fifth Avenue called me. They had heard about my success and asked me if I'd work for them. And I was able to negotiate a salary $15,000 more, and moved over to Saks Fifth Avenue, and then became the director of their Fifth Avenue club. And it's just, I've been going up, up, up since then. And I broke my neck in a tragic car accident, but then It was the best thing that ever happened to me because then I ended up in Paris, France, to recuperate, and I decided I wanted to stay. And so my husband and I, he helped me, and I developed a business called Co-Tours, which would be a shopping trip for all these clients that I'd already made in Houston, and would take them shopping to teach them about French style, from etiquette to what to wear, etc. And it was very exciting. And the one thing that I determined, there were no clothes there for over a size 12. So then I talked to my husband again, and he said, well, why don't you learn to be a fashion designer? And we'll launch, if it, we get good reviews, we'll go ahead and invest in that. And that's what we did, and I did. And my very first client was Neiman Marcus. So I've had triumph and tragedies and good things. You just have to keep going. You just have to keep going regardless of what happens. So then we had Shark Tank came up, and I was able to have fun with them on season 1, episode 9. And I don't want to tell you exactly what happened, but you should read about it. And then everything fell apart after that. No fault of theirs, but someone embezzled all the money from our business and stole all our merchandise. And basically we had to close our doors. And I was devastated because to me, it's not just having a new business. It was, it's a movement, like you said earlier. It's like, it was my children. I love making beautiful clothes for women to feel beautiful. And for me to have to stop that so quickly was very overwhelming. So I had to pull myself up and back from there. And it was Tony Robbins that pulled me up and back. 4 days with Tony Robbins, you can change the world, my darling.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And so I had written a television show and did a pilot for it, showed it in Hollywood, and they said, well, come back when you're more popular. So I decided, yes, I'm like, okay, there you go. So after my exercises with Tony for 4 days, the conclusion was to write a book because I could get that out to as many people that would buy it. They'd get to know who I was. And my book right here, Fashion Stepsister, Journey to Style, is exactly what's happening now. And that's all.
Oh, that's it, Gayla? I mean, that's it?
That's all. I'm sure I left a few things off, but I was trying to give you an overview.
Yeah. I mean, you walked through floods, broken your neck, faced judgment in fashion, and even experienced,
Yes.
like I mentioned, being,
Yes.
I'll call it sack slapped.
Yep.
Which of those moments was a moment, I guess, you realized that your story is your strength?
I think every step I took, really, probably moving to Houston without knowing anyone except for 3 or 4 men. I slept on the floor in their living room.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, and then I took the bus for 2 years. I mean, it was just, came here with $144 and, one of those stories, coming with nothing and then building up to something. So it was just having the courage to make the first step and leaping and let the net appear.
Yeah. And that's the true entrepreneurial journey. Guys, again, we're talking with Gayla Bentley. Again, her book, Fashion Stepsister, A Journey to Style. You can go to her website, gaylabentley.com. You can also follow her on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and on X as well. Lots of good content that she puts out on all those social media channels. Come back out to the break, though, guys. We're going to talk about the importance of personal style and what that means as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. And you may be overlooking some of those things. And again, I'll share the funny story that happened in the Biz family over the weekend.
Oh, good.
If you would like to reach hundreds of thousands of business owners every week, Mr. Biz Radio can help. Our show airs globally 7 days a week for more than 25 hours across several internet radio stations, plus 20 plus podcast platforms. Also, video exposure on the new exclusive Mr. Biz Network streaming channel, which gets blasted to 100 plus streaming platforms, and the Mr. Biz YouTube channel, and our 350,000 social media followers multiple times every week. Join Mr. Biz Nation as an advertiser by emailing us at info@MrBizSolutions.com.
Attention, Mr. Biz Nation. We have an exclusive offer just for you. Get lifetime access to scarcity countdown timers and logic links for only $69. Yes, you heard it right. Only $69. These tools will add urgency to your email campaigns and website pages, helping you increase conversions, sales, and capture more leads. Don't miss this incredible opportunity. Visit GetPulseTools.com now and take your business to new heights.
Check out all 3 of Mr. Biz's best-selling books at MrBizBooks.com. Now, once again, here's Mr. Biz.
All right, welcome back to the show. And guys, I want to pay off on the tease. So I mentioned we literally just had an incident in the Wentworth Biz household over the weekend that related, and it made me chuckle when it happened because I knew Gayla was going to be on the show this week, and it was a situation where we were getting ready to go to a wedding, and some of the women may know where I'm going with this already. So my wife gets ready. She looks beautiful. She's wearing this great dress and everything. Well, it was an outdoor wedding. It was going to be super hot, and I thought that the wedding was a lot less formal because these people that we were going to see, it was their son that was getting married, not very formal people. The location of the wedding, I thought, it's kind of outdoor. It's going to be very casual. So my wife is ready. She's downstairs. I come walking out, and I had on a pair of not very nice dress jeans and like a collared shirt. And literally she said, you can't be wearing that. Are you kidding me right now? You're serious? That's what you're wearing to the wedding? And I said, yeah, it's going to be hotter than Hades outside. It's going to be informal.
Right.
She said, you got to put on a suit. I said, are you kidding me? I'm going to look like a fool. First of all, I'm going to sweat my butt off. Second of all,
right,
everyone else is going to be wearing like decent jeans and a collared shirt. I'm going to look like a fool. She said, please go change. So I went and changed begrudgingly, honestly, because I thought, man, it's going to be hotter than heck. We got there, and Mrs. Biz was right. She knew.
Mrs. Biz.
And from then on, I said, from now on, anytime we leave, if I'm wearing something that looks mismatched, looks funny or whatever, or it's not formal enough or it's too formal or whatever, I'm a guy. I don't care. Just tell me what to wear and I will wear it within reason. But I'm sure a lot of women, and we were telling the story to some friends we had dinner with the next day, and both of the other wives were laughing their butts off. They're like, and they're looking at their husbands like, how many times have we had this happen?
Right, exactly.
And so I want to lead into that as, the importance of personal style. And again, it's something as an entrepreneur, even as a business owner, I think it's often overlooked because you just don't think much of it, especially most men, I think, just kind of, well, I mean, I want to look nice, but I don't really put too much thought into it. But talk to me about what you found, Gayla, is the importance of that, the importance of having some personal style to maybe set yourself apart from people and look a certain way.
Well, first of all, I like Mrs. Biz already and her ideas. I'm glad she's there for you, I'm glad she's there for you, Ken. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, the first thing is you never have a second chance to make a first impression. And you hate to think that people are so judgmental. And it's really not like they're trying to be, but when someone looks at you for the first time, they do look you up and down, not again as if they're going to judge you, but it's just a very normal thing to do. And they form an impression about who you are. And especially if you're in business, you want to look very successful, because if you want their business, they have to see that you're presenting yourself so wonderfully and professionally that you must know what you're doing because you're dressed so well. So there's a lot of power in how you present yourself. And you can present yourself in a powerful way, whether it's casual attire or a suit and tie attire. But it's better to be a little overdressed than like you're going to the grocery store. That does not work. So it's important that you're very well groomed. For men, their haircut. The new thing is, having hair on your face, but if you don't know how to trim your own beard, then you need to go to a barber and have it done. You don't need to look like you just woke up and came out of bed to have a meeting. So either you do it right and professionally or don't do it at all. And then it's important that your shoes are shined. They don't have to be spit shine, but you can buy these shiners now. It just takes 2 seconds. You run them over the shoe and it looks like your shoe is shined. And your belt should match your shoes. And then you should have on a collared shirt. And if you could have it, buy permanent press if you don't have the energy or the money to have it dry cleaned or pressing yourself, then just have on a shirt that buttons down the collar, and you don't have to wear a tie if it's a casual meeting. If it's a more formal meeting, if you're looking for money, you want to look like you have money. If you're looking for big money, you want to dress like you already have big money. So again, it's going to all mirror back to how you're looking and presenting yourself.
So Gayla,
Women?
you touched on this. How important? Because I have pretty strong feelings about, especially with men, and I know you deal mostly with women, but I'm sure you have opinions on this. Is how important to a man's style and his personal style is exactly what you mentioned before, grooming. I find that I can walk into a room and someone could be dressed, maybe even a bit underdressed compared to other people as a man. But if their hair is, and I'm not talking about having the perfect style or whatever. I just mean neatly trimmed up around the ears. Everything looks good. And if you have a beard, if you've got the good lines and all that kind of stuff,
Right.
those attention to detail. Not only is it show to me there's some style there, but I'm a numbers nerd. I'm a detail guy. I think, man, that guy has attention to detail. And depending on what I'm maybe hiring him for or whatever, I think that goes a long way and is very, very important. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, bingo. That's exactly it. The grooming, like having clean nails, simple things like that. That's very important also. And, we're living in a time where it's not how much you spend, it's what you choose. And that's what's big in my book, Fashion Stepsister. At the end of it, if you follow the formula that's laid out for men or women, you can have a very successful wardrobe for every part of your lifestyle. And if you can be consistent with your wardrobe every day, that's very important too. And the grooming, though, for men and women is so key. I can't emphasize that enough. So I'm glad you brought that up. Like if women are having an appointment and their nails are half done because they should have been done before the meeting, people will notice that. If they do hair color and they have 1 or 2 inch roots, people are going to notice that. If their outfits are too small for men and women, it's a very big no-no. Because people are spending more time looking at you and criticizing you internally and in their minds than they're listening to what you have to say. And you don't want anything to distract from what you have to say. So if you get in there and you look like a power person, then they'll listen to you.
Yeah, I love that. So we've only got a little over a minute here, but so your mantra I know is it's not about size, it's about style.
Right.
How do you help someone redefine confidence when maybe they haven't had that confidence and they've avoided mirrors, et cetera?
Right.
Like, oh my gosh, how do you help them with that?
Well, to help them put together an outfit that when they look in the mirror, they go, wow, that's me, and direct them on how do they find the right hairstyle? How do they find the right makeup? How do they find the right suit? My book talks about that in very layman's terms so they can understand it. But, if they don't have the ability to do it themselves, my book teaches them how to do it. And even if that doesn't work, then there are professionals out there. It's worth the investment for them to do so. So when you pass the mirror, you go, wow, I do look good today. Your confidence levels boost right up there and you're ready for anything the day throws at you.
Yeah. And I mean, again, it's gosh, I'm trying to think. I don't know if maybe you'll remember this, Gayla. There, on Saturday Night Live, it was a long time ago. Billy Crystal was on Saturday Night Live and he had a character. Oh my gosh. He said, it is better to look good than to feel good. And he would say, you look marvelous was
I remember that. I do remember that.
And I always think about that. It's better to look good than to feel good, and not to that extreme, of course.
But now you can do both, which I teach you. But in 1980s with Saturday Night Live, a lot of people had to be uncomfortable to look good. But then people came on the scene and developed Spanx, for example, and wide shoes and wedge shoes. I mean, all kinds of things are out there now. It's just you have to learn what to choose to be chic, fashionable, functional.
Yeah, for sure. Guys, we're going to hit a break here. Again, GaylaBentley.com, GaylaBentley.com. We'll put that in the show notes as well. And her book is Fashion's Stepsister, A Journey to Style. Come back after the break, and we're going to continue talking about, we're going to get some practical tips from Gayla on maybe some simple things that we can each do that aren't very costly, that we can help improve our personal style. So come back after the break on Mr. Biz Radio.
How would you like to have direct access to Mr. Biz to help you run your business more profitably and more efficiently? At MrBizSolutions.com, you get live access to not only Mr. Biz, but also several of his hand-picked and trusted business experts, each with 20-plus years of experience to help you optimally manage and grow your business. That's just the start of where Mr. Biz Solutions begins. Learn more at MrBizSolutions.com. That's MrBizSolutions.com.
Attention, Mr. Biz Nation. We have an exclusive offer just for you. Get lifetime access to scarcity countdown timers and logic links for only $69. Yes, you heard it right. Only $69. These tools will add urgency to your email campaigns and website pages, helping you increase conversions, sales, and capture more leads. Don't miss this incredible opportunity. Visit GetPulseTools.com now and take your business to new heights.
Got a question for Mr. Biz you want answered on air? Email it to info@MrBizSolutions.com. Now, once again, here's Mr. Biz.
All right, welcome back to the show again, talking with Gayla Bentley this week. Her book, Fashion Stepsister, A Journey to Style. Go check that out. And I honestly, Gayla, I was going to ask you a little bit more about the Shark Tank thing, but I had done some research and I found out that it was not exactly a glorious end. And so I didn't want to, kind of open that wound or whatever, but because we've had Shark Tank alums, a bunch of them on the show before.
I'm sure.
But, I think the only reason I mention it now is I wanted to make sure that people understand that not everyone who goes on Shark Tank and gets a deal, it turns out to be some great thing.
Right.
Not all deals go well. Not all businesses go well. And sometimes bad things happen
Yes.
through no fault of your own or no fault of their own or whatever. And it's just something to keep in mind that I think people automatically assume that if you get on Shark Tank, even if you don't get a deal, like, oh my gosh, you got national publicity, your business probably took off. And then if you get a deal, I think most people just assume like, oh my gosh, you must be like, a decamillionaire because at least.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
I think it's important for people to know that that's not always what happens. I did want to get into, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just one little thing I want to say about Shark Tank is, even though things did not work out nearly as what I had hoped, I to this day still communicate with Damon John and Barbara Corcoran. She just congratulated me on my book and took excerpts from it, and we had a good little laugh over different things. And if I call Damon, he will call me right back. So he also, when I met with him a year later, he said, everybody learns. We learn something from that too. Just because we're successful doesn't mean I'm not going to keep learning. And, we all learned something from what we did together as, the three of us. So
yeah,
it's all on good terms. And I learned from them. They learned from me. And it was another party that destroyed the perfectly built house. But in the end, as you know, when God closes one door, he opens another one. So that's where I am now and having a great time.
Yeah, I love it.
And being successful.
So let's get into this a little bit. You've styled Fortune 500 execs, Hurricane Harvey survivors, everyday people. What's the one style rule you swear that every client needs?
Great underwear.
Great underwear. Interesting.
Yes,
okay.
I'll start with that. I bet you weren't expecting. Well, let me tell you this.
Definitely wasn't expecting that. So tell me about that. Elaborate if you would.
Yes. Well, a well-organized closet and great underwear are the top tips, because a lot of people don't like to try on clothes. So they buy stuff and they hang it in the closet, and then it's an emergency at the end to throw it on, and they put it on and they don't have the right underwear for it. Then they wear it anyway. And then you can see through the outfit that if underwear is too small, or if underwear is not fitting correctly, it is the demise of an outfit. If people put on clothes that are too small, it's the demise of an outfit because it makes you look so much heavier. Some people are very focused on size. Like I was doing a wardrobe this weekend with a woman, and she was saying, "What size is that? What size is that?" I go, "Don't worry about the size. It's your size if it looks good on you, and it's not your size if it doesn't look good on you, because there's so many fabrics out there. You can't say you wear one size." And the most boring thing for them to do is we should go shopping first for the proper undergarments, because if they fit you well, especially for business, there are certain undergarments that you wear for business that you wouldn't wear for dating for different reasons. But mostly, you don't have to have someone see lace through your top when you're trying to close a big deal. You don't need to see panty lines. You don't need to see things like that. You don't need to see your dress cupping you around the rear end. You don't want them to see sex appeal or ill-fitting clothing. You want them to see just a well-groomed, maintained, very high and looking woman that knows what she's doing, because the way she's presenting herself. So the first thing I tell everybody, you have to clean out your closet and get rid of everything that doesn't fit right now, that you don't feel beautiful or handsome in. And then we start a shopping list and we fill in what's missing to complete outfits that you've already started. So there's a whole formula I was saying earlier that's in the book that's important to follow. It's better to have less things and have better things. It's better to have less things that you have basics that you just change with accessories to continue to have different looks throughout the week. You don't have to have a million clothes. Stop doing retail therapy and buying things and then they hang in your closet. You never wear them. Complete outfits. That's my big thing. Have women or men complete a whole outfit. Men do have it easier, I feel, because they can wear a suit and change it up 20 times. Where a woman has a black dress, she can change it up a few times, maybe half a dozen to a dozen times, but she gets tired of that too. So there's just a lot. You have to start at the foundation. If you're building a house, if you have a weak foundation, then the house isn't going to come out right. It's the same thing in building a wardrobe. If you have a weak foundation, you don't have the proper undergarments, your closet isn't organized, you don't have complete outfits together, it's not successful.
Well, I got to tell you, I love the fact that you said having an organized closet because as I mentioned, I'm a numbers nerd. I'm a detail guy. My closet is super organized. I've got.
Oh, I love it.
And so when you said that, I'm like, yes, I got a check mark. I got actually a check mark for
big
that
one.
because it is, you know, it's arranged by, you know, less casual, less formal to more formal.
Good.
These shirts go with these particular dress pants and things like that.
And does that make it easier for you to get ready because it's organized too? Don't you find it's a time saver?
And that's why I do it.
Yeah, that's why you do it. It's a money saver too, because a lot of people open the closet, go, I have nothing to wear, and there's not room for one more item, in their closet. And then if they're married, their spouse could be like, "What do you mean you need something new? You look at this," So
I have my ties organized, so I don't wear ties as often now as I used to. But so I think I have 3 different tie racks. One is for like blues and blacks. One is for
I'm so proud of you.
The more neutrals, and then one's like a wild card because I have some crazy, not crazy ties, but like
theme ties
that don't necessarily fit. There's some sort of or whatever. But so then I know if I'm wearing a white shirt and black pants, I'm going to go to this tie rack. You know what I mean? I don't have to.
And see, that's so smart.
Necessarily because I'm
it's so smart and
savant. It was I wanted to be efficient. I don't want to dig around looking.
Yeah, and I'm not categorizing, but men tend to be colorblind after a certain point. So it's really helpful if you organize that. And I dress news anchors, for example, and set up their wardrobe like 2 weeks in advance. And he's colorblind, and it really helped him a lot that I organize things by color so he won't make a mistake. Because we don't have 14 suits, but we might have 12. So I have to get him to go back to repeat 2 things before I get there. But having the ties organized exactly as you said, Ken, is exactly what can happen. And then, he doesn't have time at 4 o'clock in the morning to start thinking about what he's going to wear. It's like Superman just jumping into the outfit, or Superwoman. You jump into the outfit, you don't have to think twice about it. You're confident, you're ready to go.
Yeah, I love it. So we want, again, a little bit over a minute left here, but if our listeners only took one thing away from your journey about life, style, self-worth, etc., what would you hope that it is?
I would say by Oscar Wilde, be yourself, everyone else is taken. Stop trying to compete with other people because you have something special because you are only who you are. So don't worry about what the other person's doing or looking like. Just spend the time to develop your personal style, your self-confidence in what you're wearing, and don't worry about the other person. And people will love you because they're going to feel, oh, she's very confident within herself or himself when they present themselves at a meeting.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. I think that's super important. And it kind of goes back to a little bit, you had mentioned before you're working with a woman and she was asking what size. I was going to comment, I mean, it's related to what you just said, but also I was going to comment that when has anyone ever, you've gone somewhere and you look great and someone said, man, I love that dress, I love that suit, what size is it?
Oh, that's a good point. Touche. That's a
no
good.
one cares.
That's
they just
great.
Say it looks great.
That's great.
And so
that's
it fits into exactly
what you enter a room. Yes, that's so fabulous. When you enter a room, it should not be about your size. It should be, wow, what style that person has.
Yeah.
And that'll carry you through the whole event, and you'll have a great time. And close that deal. We all want to close the deal.
Yep. Awesome stuff. All right. Well, we're out of time here, Gayla. But again, GaylaBentley.com. We'll put that in the show notes. You can follow her on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, X. Fashion Stepsister, A Journey to Style is her book. Gayla, thanks for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
What a pleasure to meet you, Ken. I love your show. Bless you all. Mwah.
Yep,
Don't
thank you
forget
very
to
much.
dress
Guys,
in
thanks for
personal
watching.
style.
Yep. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Have a fantastic rest of your week. And don't forget, as always, cash flow is king.
To become part of Mr. Biz Nation, follow him on all social media platforms or never miss a show by going to MrBizRadio.com. If you prefer free video content, visit the Mr. Biz YouTube channel or check out his streaming channel, which is available on 100 plus streaming platforms at MrBizNetwork.com.